All right, let's take a look at slope. What is slope? Well, slope is, here's the technical definition, it's the ratio of change in vertical distance, the y-axis on your graph, that's the up and down, to the change in horizontal distance, the x-axis, the right and left, between 2 points. Okay, here are some other phrases that are used to describe slope, and they really describe it more in our words. Slope is the rate of change. It's how fast or how slow something is changing. Slope is the steepness of a line. Okay, it tells you how fast a line is going up or how fast it's going down. Slope has also been described as rise over run, and it has to be rise over run and not the other way. Okay, you're comparing up and down, the rise, to the right and left, the run, right? Because rise means to go up, run means to go sideways. And here's a little more technical. We're given 2 points, the difference in their y values divided by the difference in their x values. And what that describes is the actual equation. If you're trying to find the slope of a line between 2 points, you subtract the y values and divide that by the subtraction of the x values for the 2 points. Let's say it was point x1, y1 and point x2, y2. Okay, let's talk also basically about what a slope of a line would look like. If a line with positive slope means that it's going up to the right. So it's traveling upward as you go to the right. So that is an example of a line with positive slope. Just like you read a book when you're deciding on slope, we read from left to right. What's happening to the line as we go from the left side to the right side? And notice this one is going upward, so that is positive slope. Negative slope is a line that's going downward, so it goes down from left to right. Just like we read a book, we read a page, we go from the left towards the right. What's happening to the line? Is it going up or down? Notice this one is pointing downward to the right. That means we have negative slope. Slope of 0, so no slope at all. If a line has no slope, whoops, and this is hard to draw with my pencil, no slope means it's an absolutely flat line. It's a horizontal line. Okay? So if you think about this as like you're walking on the ground, positive slope is when you're walking uphill, negative slope is when you're walking downhill, and 0 slope is when you're on perfectly flat ground with no ups or downs at all. And finally, we have what's called undefined slope. That is a line that's going straight up and down, a vertical line. Vertical line has undefined slope. The reason it's called undefined is because we can't really define with a number how steep that line is. It's going straight up and down. Okay? Notice this one over here with our positive slope, we could describe how fast it's going up by comparing how fast it's going up compared to how fast it's going over. Same here, we could compare this line based on how fast it's going down, how fast it's going over. This one's not going up or down at all, so we describe it with the number 0. But this straight up and down line, there is no way to describe how fast it's sloping. It's just like a cliff. It drops straight off. So we call that undefined slope when you have a vertical line. Hey, here is the formula for the slope of a line. So let's find the slope of a line between 2 points. And I'm going to go ahead and draw what the graph would look like so we can see kind of what we're describing here. It wants me to find the slope of a line between the point -3, 0. So on a graph, -3, 0 would be right there, and 0, 5 is 0 and up 5. So this is the line that I'm finding the slope of and describing how steep that line is. Remember, it's rise over run, or the difference in your y values over the difference in your x values. So say this is my first point, so I'll call it x1 and y1. And this is my second point, I'll call it x2 and y2. So really all you're doing is subtracting the y's on the top of your fraction. So here's my y is 5 for that point, minus the y1, the y for my first point, which was 0. That's the top of my fraction. On the bottom, the x from my second point was 0 minus the x from my first point, which was -3. I just put those into the formula and then simplify. 5 minus 0 is 5. 0 minus a -3 minus a negative, remember in our rules, changes to plus. And so I get a slope of 5/3. Now what does that mean? It means that on this line, for every 5 units you go up, you go 3 units to the right. And that continues all the way throughout this line. So every 5 units I go up, I would go 3 units over and I would hit the line again. 5 units up, 3 units over, I would hit the line again. Okay, that is what we're describing when we talk about slope.